Hello everyone, Hamza here with Oman Group. So I'm actually here today in a development that is the most recognizable name in Muscat residences when it comes to freehold properties. This is a place that's been developed here. It's been existing for almost 15 plus years. I'm of course talking about Al Mouj. We have a new launch in Al Mouj that I want to talk to you guys about. It's a project that we didn't cover before because there wasn't any new phases or new launches coming up. But we just have a new launch that's come up, and this is what I want to talk to you guys about. It is probably the most exclusive and most sought after place in terms of residential living here in Muscat. So let's get started. Let me tell you guys more about it, and let's see what's going on here. Alright guys, so we are actually here at the site, actually construction site. There's a lot of construction that's already begun here. This is a project that's called Bellevue. It's inside of Al Mouj, like I said. To tell you guys a little bit more about Al Mouj. Al Mouj is a freehold community that's actually one of the oldest here in Muscat. This is a place where, you know, expats have been living for over 15 years. This is obviously a place where people would come and get these amazing views because it's right on the water, on the sea. You know, again, this is a community that's been existing for 15 plus years. So if you talk about the most recognizable community in Muscat, you know, I would say anybody would tell you that Al Mouj is it. They have a marina, they have so many shops, they have restaurants, they have all types of stuff that's been existing here for over 15 years. So, you know, while we cover a lot of new projects that are up and coming in Muscat, we really haven't spoken about Al Mouj only because Al Mouj is already pretty much developed and there hasn't been a lot of new stuff happening. But this new launch just came up where they're actually extending a new phase in Al Mouj. So when we heard about it, we figured let's go here, let's check it out, and let's give you guys more details about this new phase. And I'm actually really surprised by how amazing these views are and where they're actually building this. So if you guys are thinking about the most premier location in Muscat, I don't think you can get higher than an Al Mouj, quite honestly. They have St. Regis Hotel, which is a 5-star hotel. They have a golf course here. They've pretty much thought about every kind of amenity and, you know, every kind of comfort that you can think of if you want to live here in Muscat. You know, again, this is one of the most recognizable communities in Muscat, Al Mouj is. And you know, now that they're launching this new phase, it's actually quite exciting because it lets new buyers come into the market and buy directly from the developer. I want to tell you guys more about the pricing, the payment plan, and that sort of stuff. So let's go down the shoreline some more and show you guys more like the direct views of what you can expect when you buy an apartment here in Al Mouj. They're actually offering a pretty enticing payment plan, some of which are post-handover payments as well that you guys can elect for. But here we have 4 types of units. You know, we have our 1-bedroom unit that starts at 101,800 Riyal Omani. We have our 1-bedroom plus one, they're calling it, which is the plus one is a study. That one is about 135,000 Omani Riyal. Then we have a 2-bedroom unit, which starts at 179,900 Riyal Omani. And then we have a 2-bedroom plus one, which is at 294,500 Riyal Omani. You know, obviously this is a very exclusive unit that has direct views of the sea as well. All units in this building will have either a partial sea view or direct sea views. Alright guys, so I kind of want to cover some of the plans that they're offering in terms of the payment plans. One thing to obviously say every time is that if you purchase any property here, you know, you do obviously get the residence for Oman no matter which property you purchase. But if you do end up purchasing something that's more than 200,000 Riyal Omani, you know, you do get that golden residency. But if you purchase a 1-bedroom apartment here that is up to 160,000, they're offering for the month, for this month, they're offering a 5% down payment. There's a 10% at the time of signing the contract at the 2 months. After that, there's a 17.5% payment plan every 6 months. After 6 months of the handover, there's a 15% post-handover plan that they're offering. They have some other offers as well. If your home starts at 250,000 Riyal Omani, they're asking 3% down payment, a 7% at the time of signing the contract, and then a 15% payment every 6 months at the time of handover. They're asking for 20%, and then 35% of the payment price would be post handover. So that is if your unit starts from 250,000 and above. So that's kind of like the two payment plans that we're offering. It's interesting, it is good that they're offering up to a 35% post handover payment plan as well. So you know, it just kind of relieves the pressure in terms of how much you have to pay by the time the handover comes. And guys, this is interesting. We have some local fishermen here trying to fish as well. Totally unexpected, but really cool to see. But you know, views like this is what you can expect from your apartment, you know, living here in El Mouj. You will have these local fishermen trying to fish during the day. So you can come onto your balcony and just kind of see what's happening here. Nice friendly guys. Let's see if they catch any fish. By the way guys, this is like the amazing thing about living in Oman is when you're here, oftentimes like you're so close to the sea, you can always come down to the beach and you know, hang out at the beach. But with this property specifically, you know, you have direct views of the sea that are completely unblocked. You know, we call them these infinity views of the sea, and there's very few properties that are offering like these types of views. So you know, living in a community, a very nice upscale community with all types of, you know, features and things to offer. El Mouj is very developed. We'll actually give you guys a little drive around of El Mouj itself. We'll do that in this video as well, so you guys can kind of see how much of it is already developed. If you haven't been to Muscat, you know, you always want to come to El Mouj and see what's happening here. So, you know, obviously you can get direct views of the sea here, but you know, beyond the sea, you guys can see this amazing skyline of the Muscat, the mountains that are surrounding the city of Muscat. You know, it's just really an amazing view to look at, you know, directly from your balcony. That's something you'll get here actually. And that's kind of what you're paying for, are these amazing views that are completely unobstructed. And, you know, you have this, as far as your eyes can see, you know, you would have views of the sea here. But this is really quite amazing to be here. And I want to thank the developers as well for giving us access to it. But you know, this is one of those places, you know, I could hear the water hitting the shoreline, and that's something that you guys could hear from your bedroom, you know, if you decide to purchase something here. It's really an amazingly like serene place. It's very quiet, and in a very nice luxury upscale community like El Mouj. Very rare for these types of units to come on the market. I think the prices are very reasonable to start off with. If you're thinking about a one bedroom, you know, the prices are starting, like I said, around 101,000 Real Omani and going up from there. There's not a lot of those units. You know, some of the units at the lowest prices may not be as much available in quantity, but there's still a lot of units available. Some things to mention about El Mouj. We have many hotels in the area as well. We have Kapinski. We have actually a hotel very close to this community here. It's called Voco. We obviously have a 5-star hotel, St. Regis as well. So there's just so many things, you know, you guys can go walk around El Mouj. It's a big community that's fully developed. This building is actually ground floor plus 8 floors. Above the 8th floor is actually going to be another swimming pool on the rooftop deck. It's going to be another infinity pool that you guys can access as well. There will be a cinema room upstairs. There will be a gym upstairs. There will just be a lot of things inside the building as well that you guys can access. There'll also be a swimming pool outside on the ground floor level. But outside of what the building itself has, you know, there's just so many things here in El Mouj that I feel like I'm repeating myself. There's just so many restaurants. You guys can walk down to the marina, or you guys can just walk around here along the shoreline and just kind of enjoy your time living here in Oman Muscat. So we're actually here at the site. I want to show you the actual site of the project and kind of want to show you all the work that's going on here. You guys can see all of the construction vehicles here that are working and all the men that are working here. Again, this project, you know, it's about a 2-year timeline to delivery. What I want to do next is actually take you guys around El Mouj. So I'm going to get in my car, I'm going to mount my camera, and I'm going to show you around El Mouj just to show you what the community here looks like. All right, guys, so we are sort of here close to the marina. This is kind of the center of Al Mouj here. This is where we have some of the really high-end restaurants as well. We have a very high-end, I love this steak restaurant that's over here as well. But you know, Al Mouj, guys, this is kind of the standard, the standard that Oman has set. This is kind of the epitome of the very high quality standard of living that has been created here in Oman because of Al Mouj. And every other development that's come in since then tries to live up to the standards that, you know, Al Mouj has set in place. And everyone expects the future development to be like Al Mouj, have some of the facilities like Al Mouj has. And you know, a lot of times, you know, a lot of developments don't come close to it. So if you want to be in a development that is existing, that's already delivered, that has all these services in place, and you don't want to play the guessing game of not knowing what's going to come down the line, you know, you could buy something here in Al Mouj, take advantage of all of the existing stuff that's already here, and and invest in a very safe investment. The other thing to mention about Bellevue, the project that we just covered, you know, you can expect a lot of appreciation as soon as the project is handed over. If we look at comps that are existing for 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom units, they're a lot higher than where Bellevue is at. And Bellevue is just a lot better in terms of the location in Al Mouj. It has direct sea views that some of these other units do not. So, you know, a very safe investment that can have really good appreciation as well. But if you want to live here in Oman, if you're planning to come in a few years, you want to buy a new unit in Bellevue, something that is brand new, and you can come in with a very decent payment plan at a good price, and you know, be part of this really nice community in Al Mouj. And you know, then you could come down here and take a walk along this, you know, these shops and everything that Al Mouj has to offer. And also, a very important thing to know about Al Mouj is, you know, how close it is to the city. You know, with some of the new developments, they tend to be a little bit farther away. But if you want to be just like a 5-minute drive from Muscat airport and just like a 10-15 minutes away from the downtown, you know, Al Mouj is like that ideal location. You know, there really isn't another development that, you know, Al Mouj competes with in terms of location and all the services and everything else that it has to offer. So I definitely encourage you guys to consider Al Mouj as one of the options if you guys are thinking about buying a freehold property here in Oman. You know, like I said, it is kind of the gold standard, and it has been for many years, and it continues to be. So thank you again for watching this video. I look forward to hearing from you soon and showing you Al Mouj. And if you have questions about the price or anything else, the availability, we'll be happy to go over that with you as well. Thank you so much.